The village of Ejemu was a quiet place. Pastor Jonah is the leader of the big church in the middle of the village. He had one daughter. Her name is Faith, and she is only 16. Faith is kind, smart, and everyone loved her. She always wore long dresses and tied her hair in neat buns. One day, after church, Faith went to the river to fetch water. As she bent down to fill her bucket, she heard a soft voice behind her. "Hello." She turned and saw a boy about her age. He had sad eyes and wore old clothes. His name is Ken. She had never seen him before. "Are you new here?" Faith asked. Ken nodded. "We just moved to the old house near the forest." Faith's eyes widened. That house had been empty for years. People said it was cursed. "Why would you live there?" Ken looked down. "It's where my mother wants to live." Faith didn't ask more. She felt sorry for him. They talked for a while before she left. At dinner, she told her father about the boy. Pastor Jonah's face changed. "That boy is the witch's son," he said sharply. "His mother is Mama Efe, the woman who cursed this village 20 years ago. You must never talk to him again." Faith's heart sank, but in her mind, she remembered Ken's kind eyes and gentle voice. Something didn't feel right. She couldn't stop thinking about him. And that night, for the first time, Faith dreamt of fire, shadows, and a voice calling her name from the forest. The next morning, Faith woke up early. Her dream was still fresh in her mind. It felt so real. The fire, the voice, the forest. She shook her head and tried to forget. But when she stepped outside, the wind blew strong and fast. It whispered through the trees like it had something to say. Faith stopped and listened. For a moment, she thought she heard her name. "Faith." She turned around, but no one was there. At church that day, Pastor Jonah preached about light and sheiks. His voice was loud and firm. He warned the people to stay away from evil. "Evil hides in friendly faces," he said, looking straight at Faith. Her heart beat faster. After church, Faith walked quickly past the crowd. She didn't want anyone to stop her. She went behind the church to her secret spot near the mango tree. And there he was, Ken. He smiled, but it was a sad smile. "I knew you'd come," he said. Faith looked around nervously. "I'm not supposed to talk to you. My father said your mother is a witch." Ken looked at the ground. "She is different, but she's not evil. People fear what they don't understand." Faith sat beside him. "Tell me the truth. Who is your mother?" Ken took a deep breath. "My mother was once a healer. She helped people. But after a child died during a sickness, they blamed her. They said she cursed the village. We had to run. Now we are back because she says something bad is coming." Faith's hands felt cold. "Something bad?" Ken nodded. "He sees it in her dreams. Fire, darkness, a girl with light in her hands." Faith's eyes widened. That was her dream too. Before she could speak, a strong wind blew again. The trees bent, the clouds above grew dark. "Come with me," Ken said. "There's something you need to see." And though her heart pounded, Faith followed him into the forest. Ken led Faith deep into the forest. Trees stood tall like gods, and strange bird sounds filled the air. They walked for many minutes until they reached a small hut made of mud and straw. "This is where my mother stays when she prays," Ken said. Faith looked around nervously. The hut looked old, but it felt peaceful. Ken pushed open the door. Inside, candles were lit and strange symbols were drawn on the floor. Mama Efe sat in the middle. Her eyes were closed and she was humming. "Mother," Ken said. Mama Efe opened her eyes. They were bright and wise. She looked at Faith and smiled sadly. "So, the child of light has come." Faith's heart raced. "Why do you call me that?" Mama Efe stood up slowly. "Because you have a gift inside you, a light that can fight the darkness that is coming." Faith shook her head. "I'm just a pastor's daughter. I don't have any gift." Mama Efe walked closer. "You dream of fire, of shadows. That is the sign. The darkness wants you, but you can stop it if you accept your light." Ken touched her hand. "I believe you can." Suddenly, a loud sound echoed in the forest, like thunder, but stronger. Mama Efe looked at the sky. "It begins. You must go back now. Tell your father the truth. Warn him. The darkness is near." Faith was scared, but she nodded. She and Ken ran back through the forest. But when they reached the village, people were shouting. Smoke rose from the church. The fire in her dream had started. People ran with buckets of water. Flames covered the roof of the church. Pastor Jonah stood in front, shouting and praying, "Lord, protect your house. Drive away the evil." Faith pushed through the crowd. "Papa!" He turned and grabbed her. "Where have you been? I was so worried." "Papa, I saw it before, in my dreams." He paused. "What do you mean?" Faith looked around and saw Ken hiding behind a tree. "I need to tell you something. Ken's mother is not evil. She's trying to help. She said I have light inside me. She warned us." Pastor Jonah's face grew cold. "You've been seeing that boy again? That woman? They caused this." "No, she said the fire would come. She knew." The roof cracked and part of it fell in. People screamed. Then something dark rose from the fire. A thick black shadow. It looked like a man, but with no face. It moved slowly toward the crowd. "What is that?" someone cried. People began to run. Pastor Jonah froze in fear. Faith felt something warm in her chest. Her hands began to glow like fire, but soft and golden. "Faith, your light," Ken said from behind her. She stepped forward. Her hands rose. The shadow hissed. "In the name of the light, leave this place," she shouted. The golden light shot from her hands and hit the shadow. It screamed and vanished into the smoke. Everyone went quiet. Pastor Jonah dropped to his knees. "My daughter, you are truly chosen." But Faith didn't feel proud. She felt tears in her eyes. She had power. But what came next? That evening, the fire was gone. The church was damaged, but no one was hurt. People whispered about Faith's glowing hands. Pastor Jonah called a meeting at home. "Tell me everything," he said. So Faith told him about the dreams, the forest, Mama Efe, and the shadow. Ken and Mama Efe were invited too. Mama Efe stood tall but calm. "I never cursed the village," she said. "Long ago, I warned the leaders that darkness was waking. When a child died of sickness, they blamed me, but I had only tried to help." Pastor Jonah looked ashamed. "I led them. I believed what I didn't understand. I am sorry." Faith asked, "Why me? Why do I have the light?" Mama Efe smiled. Because your heart is pure, light chooses those who listen, not those who are perfect. That night, Pastor Jonah knelt and prayed beside Mama Efe. The village slowly started to change their thoughts, but the darkness was not finished. Days passed. People started to accept Mama Efe. Ken helped rebuild the church. Faith trained to control her light. Later that night, a scream came from the edge of the village. A baby was missing. "The shadow is back," someone shouted. Faith and Ken ran to Mama Efe. "It's growing stronger," she said. "We must go to the cave of spirits. The source is there." They walked all night through the forest. The cave was dark and cold. Inside, the shadow waited. It said, "You cannot stop me, girl of light." Faith stepped forward. "I will." The shadow threw fire. Faith blocked it with her glow. Ken found the baby hidden behind rocks. "I've got him." Faith's light grew brighter. She remembered her mother's lullabies, her father's prayers, Ken's hope. She shouted and light burst out. The cave shook. The shadow screamed and broke into smoke. It was gone. Faith fell into Ken's arms. She had done it. The sun rose over Ejemu. People gathered at the church ruins. Pastor Jonah stood with Mama Efe. Faith and Ken sat together. "We were wrong to judge," Pastor Jonah said. "True evil hides in fear and lies, but love and light live in truth." People clapped. Some cried. Mama Efe spoke next. "The girl of light saved us, not with power alone, but with courage, kindness, and trust." Faith smiled. Ken held her hand. The village rebuilt the church and made a new house for Mama Efe. She taught the people how to use herbs and prayers together. Faith became known as the guardian of light. She helped people in secret ways. And the lesson stayed with everyone. Never judge by fear. Never hate what you don't understand. And always let light lead you, even in the darkest places. I hope you enjoyed the tale. If so, please like the video, share it with your family and friends, and comment on it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for more enchanting tales like this. Thanks for watching.